There were some record bids and sales in New York City last night at Christie's auction of post-war and contemporary art. Roy Lichtenstein's 1964 painting titled, "Oh, All Right," brought in the evening's high bid, more than $42.5 million. Andy Warhol's Big Campbell's soup can with the can opener sold for almost $24 million. 15 Warhol works were offered, leading many to dub this the season of Warhols. It's turning out to be quite an auction season indeed. Brett Gorvy is the deputy chairman of Christie's, and good to have you with us on Taking Stock on Bloomberg.
Thank you.
So what is the love affair that art patrons seem to have for Warhols right now?
Well, our market is truly global, and Warhol is an artist, as with Roy Lichtenstein, pop artists, and who are both popular artists. And his works speak to all the global entities that are very important to our market.
Well, I mean, if it's speaking to these global entities, is it something because of a generational affinity with Warhol paintings?
I think it's the language, yes. I think it's partly the generation who are buying. The most powerful buyers are in their 50s, late 40s, early 50s, and so this is the art that they grew up with. But it's also an art which is extremely beautiful. It's also impactful, and it's very easy to understand in a very quick moment.
Now, does the results of the sales indicate to you that we are entering a period of even stronger art markets? Because, of course, you look back a little bit, 2008, 2009, not exactly the greatest years for sales because of economic dislocation all over the world. Is this a new period for art sales?
The return to the market was extraordinary because November 2008, as with most markets, our market fell tremendously by half. Within 6 months, we were predicting maybe 4 years recovery. Within 6 months, we were back pretty much on even keel to 2006, 2007 prices. And in the last year, we've seen phenomenal prices. And we keep on talking about 2008 being the height of the market. We're seeing prices now way higher than the height of the market.
Now, when you look at who is actually bidding, there always seems to be a little bit of a domestic bias. So, for example, if you have Australian works of art, Australian patrons are going to come in. If you have the same thing for Chinese works of art, then the Chinese market will be hot. Is this, are you seeing this, or is it now just everybody crowding into these top-name artists?
Well, I think especially in the field of post-war contemporary art, it is very international. And you'll find American collectors looking at Chinese artists, and you'll see Chinese collectors looking at American artists. So I think what is keeping our market so strong is that we're not reliant on one particular economy. We are a truly global market.
Are you seeing any effects having to do with the weak U.S. dollar fueling demand for auctions here in the United States?
What was very interesting for us last night is 63% of our buys were American. And that would seem to go against the trend in terms of currencies. And I think people are really looking at art as a really very safe investment. It's an asset which has held up tremendously over the last 2 years. And there are more and more people coming into the world, and specifically contemporary, because I think there's a real connection to contemporary art, less so maybe with some of the older sectors in our market.
Now, you mentioned the Lichtenstein results as well as the Andy Warhol results. What's next? What should we keep our eye on?
Well, I think it's blue chip. I think all these artists have careers which are very much founded over 20, 30-year periods. So we're not necessarily seeing that much risk in terms of where people are going with their collecting. But there are younger artists who are doing phenomenally well as well. Younger might be artists in their 40s and 50s, but in terms of their careers, they are very, very strong. And we've seen the return of Jeff KOONS, for instance. We had a phenomenal price for a large outdoor sculpture, balloon flower, $16 million for a sculpture which is currently being packed up outside Rockefeller Plaza. But it was a fantastic result. Are
there any specific works on the auction calendar that we should mark in our catalogs?
Well, the next big sales are going to be May, and we're gathering for that already. We literally closed the sales last night, and we're ready for our next sales. We have sales. Our sales are international, so our next big sales actually are in London in February.
So we had to get across the pond for those.
Exactly.
All right, I want to thank you very much, Brett Gorvy, the Vice Chairman of Christie's, giving us some insight into the record art market right now. Thank you very much.
Thank you.